5 months ago, I made a decision to stop drinking alcohol. So in this video, I thought I'd just share with you some of the highs and some of the lows of that experience while I take a walk here. I'm taking a day off work. I'm not feeling that well today. So I'm gonna head down to one of these beaches. And as we walk, I'll share with you my experience with going sober. This isn't my first time going sober. In the interest of full disclosure, I used to be a raging alcoholic. I was a lawyer and I would drink until I would pass out every single night. I did that for close to a decade. 2016, I hit rock bottom, and that's the first time I went sober, got into movement, meditation, breath work, all the things to try and heal myself. I had 18 months off and then reintroduced it just lightly in moderation. I know a lot of addicts will say, oh, you can't once you're an addict because you can't control that impulse to have more. That's still very much there, but I did so much inner work that with a few control mechanisms, I could have a drink on occasion, even though the urge was there to have more. So reintroduced liquor, had more time off, another 6 month stint, and then I'd occasionally do like a month off here and there or 3 months off. And then eventually I sort of reintroduced it when I met my current partner 2 years ago. The only problem with walking and looking at the screen instead of where I'm putting my feet, there are brown snakes in these parts of Australia, and they like to sort of lay across the path in the sunlight. And if you step on one of those, it is game over. So I was at the end of a 6 month sobriety period when I met my current partner, and I just knew from the moment I met her that she was the one. And she likes to have a glass of wine with the dinner. She's a fan of good wine. She's come from hospitality in her past life, and so has an appreciation for nice wine. And the snob in me, having come from a legal background, always appreciated good wine too. So I reintroduced it, and it was wonderful. Some of my happiest outings with her were going hiking during the day, all day on our adventures, and then coming back, having a nice lunch at a winery, having some fresh made, handmade Italian pizza, nice glass of red wine, you know, going home, making love, being social, and just getting the social benefits of the wine. And so it was working really well for me in forming that new relationship. And eventually though, it just started to creep in a bit more often than I wanted it to. Have a go at this view. And I guess you could say we moved through the honeymoon phase, moved in together, and also went into business together. We bought a yoga studio, so we both teach yoga now. So changing careers for me was huge in my wellness journey, because a lot of my stress and the pressure that led me to alcoholism was linked to my career. So much healthier career for me. I feel much less stressed, and I just don't have the same, I guess, reason to drink. But it started to creep in, just to be a bit more of a daily thing again. Certainly not drinking to pass out levels like I used to, but I decided late last year that I just don't feel like it's consistent with my values as a yoga teacher, as a movement teacher. And I just don't feel like I really need it anymore. I feel like my relationship's so wonderful that just sort of transcended the need for that social lubricant. So I decided to make a commitment, 1 year, no alcohol, starting in December 2024. We're now in May 2025, and I'm happy to report that I have not had a single alcoholic drink or taken any kind of drugs other than an aspirin this morning because I had a killer headache. and I'm feeling pretty bloody good. So I thought I'd just describe to you the process of giving up liquor. If you're thinking about doing it, how it felt for me, because the first few weeks, every time I try to go sober, are always like really challenging. The first month, they say it takes 28 days to build a new habit, and I think that's true because I think about it all the time. For that first month, I need to have alternatives instead of the liquor to manage the cravings. And for me, sparkling water is great. Low or zero calorie soft drinks or soda pops, I guess you call them if you're in the States, just so you've got something else that's bubbly and fizzy and a bit of a treat, I suppose. And obviously just lots of water, so staying hydrated. The first few weeks are uncomfortable, not gonna lie, but once you push through that first month, the other thing is you have to stay busy, active, keep your mind focused on other things. Having a movement practice, health, yoga, just choose your movement modality, whether it's calisthenics or a sport. You've got to stay active, keep your mind off being bored and wanting to just reach for the bottle. The great news is once you hit months 2 and 3, things feel super energetic and amazing. So in month 2 and 3, for me personally, I had this spike in energy where it went through the roof. Oh, there's a wallaby. If you can see him here, I'll zoom in for you. Hello, aren't you cute? Beautiful. Beautiful. I just had this like crazy amount of energy where I just wasn't getting tired. It was almost like your liver cleanses, your body's cleansed finally of all the toxins, and you just feel ridiculously energized. It started to get uncomfortable at the end of month 3, where I'm like, man, I just wish I was tired. Can you believe that? I went from having like really low energy to too much freaking energy. So my business went up, making more money. All my projects are off the ground. I started learning this thing, the didgeridoo, which I'll show you when I get down to the beach in a moment. Reading more, just had all this extra time and energy to put into projects. I started redoing my movement courses that I sell online. And then heading into month 4, I think I started to feel like maybe a little bit of burnout from that, just from going super hard and not deliberately resting enough. It looks like the spot I wanted to go to is blocked off today for some reason, even though I've not passed another soul down here. So we'll head down towards the beach. It will get louder down there with the waves, so hopefully the audio's okay for you at the moment, because I'm just using my phone. This is a very candid video, just trying to share my thoughts as they're coming out. So I started to feel maybe a little bit of fatigue, I think, from going pretty hard, and to that point where today I actually needed to take the day off work. I had a headache and hit a bit of a low, actually, where I think just the output going out has been immense. Maybe not filling my cup up enough with activities that nourish me. So just being aware of that. And when you take away the liquor, what seems to happen is it doesn't solve all of your problems. It just, all of a sudden, a layer is gone, the toxicity is gone, the brain fog is gone, and you have clarity around the things that are distracting you from feeling good now, which tend to be like, if I eat crappy food, I'm way more sensitive to it. I'm more aware of how that affects my mood. I had a dim sim, which is this deep fried horrible thing at a service station, petrol station recently, and I had a hangover from it. I felt terrible. And I think when you've got liquor in your system, it sort of masks that a bit, because you tend to feel hungover and crappy, and it's easy to just blame it on the alcohol, and you don't realize that food or people or environments are actually making you feel crappy. So that's something that I've come to learn, that giving up liquor doesn't fix everything, but it enables you to get to the next level. And then your task then is to look at, well, what's interfering with me from feeling at peace, healthy, and happy. And then there's new things to figure out and remove. Making our way down to the beach now. Have a look at this. The other upsides are emotional regulation. Number one benefit for me, other than like physically, my body responds much better to training. Obviously, I've got more energy, less brain fog, but my ability to regulate my emotions, I don't get these like peaks and troughs like I do even with moderate alcohol consumption. I feel like I'm more prone to like melancholy or sadness, whereas when I'm not drinking, I feel more even-tempered. I'm more patient with the kids. I'm way more tolerant of other people. So yeah, we've got 4 kids between us. I guess a more aware, patient, considerate parent. I'm a better partner because I'm a bit better at listening and a bit more caring. So emotional mood regulation would be for me the best upside. Down at the beach now, have a look at this. It's a pretty cool rock here. Let me attempt to walk on these stones as I talk to you. Downsides. So I guess socializing, my generation, I'm 43. Most of my socializing revolved around alcohol. So I've definitely found like I have less friends. That could be because a lot of my mates are having children and have businesses, or they work a lot, they're busy. So I do find it a bit lonelier, and I find it harder to make friends because alcohol is such a social lubricant here in Australia. So that would be like kind of a downside. And as much as like I'd like to say, oh, let's catch up and have a cup of tea, it's kind of not the same. I do have a mate I'll go and watch the UFC fights with, and he'll have a beer and I'll just have like a Coke Zero or something. So I feel like I still kind of get to go and do some of those things anyway. But yeah, I think socially I haven't quite figured that one out yet. I'd like to say I have more friends than I do. I've probably sort of retracted and hidden away a little too much. Got a nice spot here under the pandanus trees, or as my brother likes to call them, dick trees. Can you see why he calls them dick trees? Have a look. Maybe a resemblance there. That guy's packing pretty well. Other benefits of not drinking, the financial benefits. Wow. Firstly, if you're a big drinker and it takes a fair bit for you to get drunk, like it does me, the money savings in the alcohol alone are huge, huge. Off the back of that, you don't buy dumb shit as much. You make better eating choices. So I eat out less. I eat at home a lot more, cook wholesome food for myself, which tends to be more affordable here where I live. And you also don't do dumb impulse buying. Like, the internet's a dangerous place with e-commerce now. If you get drunk and decide to treat yourself to a new e-bike while you're hammered, and then a new $3,000 e-bike turns up and you've just maxed out your credit card while you were hammered and you can't even remember doing that. Now, that may or may not be a true story. Those things don't tend to happen as much. So you make better financial choices. In my business, huge difference. Like, even though it's just that extra 10% each week maybe of energy and output, over longer periods of time, that compounds and into much better yield, much better results in your business. So the finances are huge. I just thought I'd show you my didgeridoo too. Check this baby out. So the other thing you can do with all this extra energy and the need to stay distracted is to do things like learn an instrument. I chose this one because it involves some breath work, as well as it makes you vibrate. Being in Australia too, I love that it connects me to the land here. It's the oldest instrument in the world. And it just feels good to be learning something new. It's really challenging. I've made a few videos about my journey starting the didgeridoo, which you can check out here on the channel. Just opens new doors to new interests, not drinking, because you have to find more wholesome things to do with your time than just sit around drinking. So I guess that's all I wanted to share with you today. Yeah, I wasn't feeling particularly well when I started this video, but just sharing here, showing up and sharing, I feel a lot better in myself. So I just want you to know, if you're not feeling well, wherever you are, or you do have a problem with alcohol, or maybe you just feel like it's robbing you of some of the joy that you could be experiencing in life, you are not alone, and that's completely normal. And I wish you all the best on your own personal journey. And I hope maybe there's something in this video that has helped you or inspired you in some way. If not, that's cool too. Yeah, give us a follow, a subscribe, a like, and a comment down below. Let me know how you're going with your journey. Any questions, let me know. And thanks for tuning in.